right, so I'm here with Adams Wayne. We're going to do a quick overview of some of the new additions or new modules that are being included in the Night Market campaign that is due out later this year, early next year. And we want to go through, this is still preliminary art. We're working closely with our illustrator and graphic designers to get this game together, make it absolutely beautiful, get it into a nice, wonderful box. And get it so that it's heading to your table and that you'll actually have an amazing time with it. Because I know working with Adam and playing the prototype copies, it's been one of my favorite games. And I know I'm biased, but it really does tickle my cerebellum as such. So Adam, why don't you take us through the Festivals Pack, which was a Kickstarter exclusive add-in that is basically paying homage to various traditions in Taiwan that some of them which you actually got to experience when you visited.
Well, yeah, actually, this is like hand selected of big festivals or even like cultural experiences, but they're kind of my favorite ones. So there's so many there that I couldn't possibly include them all. And some people will be like, "Why did you include this?" It's because I like it so much, So it's not; these aren't the most important ones or important locations, but I chose them because I like them, and I can make a little game out of it.
All right, so which one are we looking at first?
So I'm going to take you through three of them kind of in detail, and then I'll briefly explain the other five that we have down here. So the first one, let's do the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, red envelope exchange. So all of these act as like mini modules that you can add to the game, either standalone or you can actually pair a few of them up based upon their complexity. In the rule book, I recommend okay, this one is low complexity, so you can pair it with another module or pair it with any of the expansions in the base game. And that's actually the red envelope Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year one right here. So this one, we're looking at, everyone kind of starts the game with a red envelope based on turn order. And then instead of determining turn order at the end of each round based upon your performance, you're going to actually bid for it at the start of the next round. And you bid for it blindly by using these red envelopes. So everyone's going to have one. And then you can bid $1 to $10. Obviously, the highest bid goes first. And then you reveal your bid, and you'll actually add the number on the envelope to your bid to increase the size. And what you do, whoever bids the most goes first, but you actually you exchange the red envelope with the person who goes last. So first place, exchange with last place, second place, exchange it with third place. So you're kind of doing this red envelope exchange where you're bidding, but you actually need to kind of consider how much you bid because you're going to be ended up giving away that money to someone else. And then the tie is broken. Basically, these numbers at the top will add to your bid. So there can't be any ties because, or the tie is broken by that number. And whoever went last, so this person went in fourth place, they'll be getting this envelope here. They'll have an upper hand to go earlier in the later when bidding in the next round. Yeah, so that's this one red envelope module. Again, that's a simpler one. This one here, the next one we're going to look at is trekking in Taroko Gorge. Taroko Gorge is a very famous site in Taiwan outside of a city called Hualien, and it's one of my favorite places to go. One, the city of Hualien is just gorgeous. It's a beach coastal city, really laid back, great food. And then Taroko Gorge is nearby, which is super nice. I actually went on scooter trips there. You just drive your scooter down the coast. It's one of the most amazing experiences I've had while I was in Taiwan. Anyway, what this one does, you're actually going to set up the board slightly differently. So we were very crafty when making our tiles. Let's see, are they included in? Yes, they are. So the back of the tiles actually have these garden tiles. We did that very intentionally to make this game very modular. So you're actually going to add 4 of these garden tiles onto the district tiles. What these are, these represent places where you send off your workers to go trek in the Taroko Gorge. And so you place one of your chefs there, and he's off exploring the gorge. So the significance of that is when you take the chef action, instead of placing them on the district tiles, you have to place them on one of these 4 garden tiles. So you place it here, and when you do that, you get any good that you want. So this is like a wild. And anytime you combo, if you activate this chef, they will get any good that you want, which is quite nice. Also, when every single time you combo with this chef, whether it be a 2 or 3 combo, you progress a token along this track. The further you progress, each combo, you progress 1 space. And then on your turn, at any point, instead of placing a worker, you can actually choose to recall your chef. And when you do that, you take them back and put them on any one of these 3 spaces. These 3 spaces will unlock a special ability that you have for the rest of the game. And you get to claim whatever bonus you are, however far you've progressed on this track here. So I would claim, in this instance, I would get this middle bonus, and then I would claim a 2 good bonus, and then I reset it here. The tricky thing is, you can only have 1 chef out at a time. So you can't have multiple chefs like in the normal game, so you're not going to be getting so many goods or rely on your chefs to get so many goods as you do in the normal game. You're going to have to manipulate this board a little better and unlock these powers to get more goods rather than using your chefs. Okay, we all go with that. Eric, any questions?
No, I think
no,
that's actually pretty interesting. I mean, between the turn order shifts with regards to, the red envelope module and this one. I mean, it adds. What's interesting about specifically the trekking one, it puts a little more tension or changes the dynamic with regards to what you do with the chefs. Because typically, you put a chef out there and it's good resource aggregator. Where now in this particular case, you're actually expanding your powers, which I thought when we played this, I thought that was pretty fascinating. And then you almost have this, I don't want to say push your luck, but you don't want to necessarily pull it back too soon because you see all these great goods coming at you, but then you're also not getting goods from it. So it's an interesting twist on gameplay. And that's always been what's been fascinating with everything we've added to Night Market thus far is whatever strategy you use for your base game, it's not going to be the same strategy within the expansion of the module. So this one's been fascinating as well.
Yeah, a slight modification can really change the gameplay a lot, which it surprises me as well. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, this one has an interesting push and pull with this mechanic as well. All right. So let's go on to this next one. This is basically just a player aid. So some of the modules you will use the cards themselves. This one's basically just a player aid to tell you how many tokens you get. But this was actually inspired by one of our backers and our Taiwanese translator. He's going to be translating the rulebook, and he was a cultural consultant as well, and so we wanted to have his ideas in the game. And this is this is the festival he recommended, because I actually never experienced this festival. I was too afraid of it. And maybe you'll figure out why as I explain it. So it's the Yanshui Beehive Firework Festival. So I believe this happens... It's a way of celebrating the Lantern Festival. I don't know if you've heard about Lantern Festivals, but it's a part of the Lunar New Year. It's one of the last celebrations they do at the end of the Lunar New Year celebrations. And the way they celebrate it in Yanshui is they have they call them beehives, like firework cocoon things. Hives, they're called beehives, and they launch out fireworks at people in a crowd. Like the idea is you want to be hit by these fireworks, and it brings you good luck. So that's my understanding of the festival. And I've had friends go, like one of my friends got permanent scarring because she was hit. Like she was wearing a motorcycle helmet to protect herself, and it went into the helmet and burned her. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, I'll pass on this one. But anyway, it's a cool festival. Very unique. So essentially how we transported that into our game is, depending on player order, everyone's going to get a certain amount of discs in their color. So you see the person Actually, the person who goes last will get the most discs, and the person who goes first will get the least discs. And what you do, you place these discs on the intersections of districts on the city board. So in between the district tiles. And then, so if you get 3 discs, you have to place them adjacent, orthogonally adjacent to each other. So you can't place them all over the map. You kind of have a line of 3 districts. And these act as the beehive fireworks shooting out at people. And then, so you've kind of marked this little territory. If you place one of your workers next to one of these discs, you gain $1. If another player placed next to one of your discs, you gain $2. So you're kind of sectioning off an area of the board, saying either like, I want to go here, or I think someone else is going to go here, and trying to get the most money out of everyone. So it's an interesting like little area control and kind of pseudo catch-up mechanism, because whoever places poorly in the seasonal rewards will get the most discs to help them for the next season. And then so your the amount of beehive fireworks things you will have will change depending on your placement in the season rules. So it'll change every season. Sometimes you can get 3. Sometimes if you're in a 4-player game, you'll actually get none. If you are in a lead. So yeah, those are 3 modules that I explained rather in depth. There are 5 more. There is the Moon Festival down here. This one, basically, the way I celebrated it when I was in Taiwan, I believe how they celebrate it throughout the country is you have riverside barbecues. So again, we utilize these garden tiles. People can go there and then they can make little exchanges. So it's kind of like, a riverside barbecue. You bring food and you eat other people's food. So you have to bring a good and then you get one of these benefits. And you can progress and the benefits gets more powerful based upon how many people have done it. So another module is Jiufeng. So Jiufeng is a famous site in Taiwan, famous for its tea houses. And it's also known for its old street, its night market. This is also one of my favorite places to go in Taiwan. I used to take my friends to visit there all the time. It's just a beautiful place. And so you can actually visit tea houses and make exchanges with your excess goods that you have. Another one is, this is actually here, this is the Jilong Night Market, which is one of my favorite night markets. It's just a beautiful night market. It actually has a variable board setup in this module. So you actually put all the lantern tiles on the borders of the night market. So it has to be on the left and right side, because that imitates the way that the Jilong Night Market works, or looks like. And then this is actually a famous port city where a lot of cruises come in, so there's a lot of tourists that come by. And so you can actually, when you do a lantern action, you can sell to tourists and gain a little benefit here. So like when you hire a chef, you can pay an additional $3 and you can get 1 good for 2 goods. And then you actually flip this card, and so the next person can take it, can pay $5 and gain 2 goods. So it just kind of modifies the lantern action slightly and modifies the board layout slightly. And then the last one is for the Dragon Boat Festival. You'll actually be using one of your scooters, so everyone uses one of their scooter tokens here, and they place it on the borders of the city, and you kind of race it around the city, reaching checkpoints. And basically these are checkpoints across the city. And then each time you reach a checkpoint, you can claim one of these bonuses, and the first person to reach all 4 of their checkpoints flips the card, and they get points at the end of the game, depending on their placement. That represents, your racing dragon boats. So yeah. Oh, no. Then there's one more. This is the Pingxi Lantern Festival, also one of my favorite festivals in Taiwan, where you release sky lanterns. Everyone releases them all at once. It's utterly beautiful. So this one is whenever you perform a lantern action on a specific good type, you raise your sky lantern, and that getting bonuses along the way as well. So yeah, that's a brief explanation of all 8 of those modules. And yeah, I hope you enjoy them. Eric, have anything to say?
Yeah, no, I mean it's I think when it's interesting, Adam. I think when we start off, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is we Adam and I spent a lot of time with regards to getting this campaign ready, managing a campaign, and then coming out on the opposite side. And I remember, if I recall correctly, when we first signed Night Market, you pretty much had the the skills or modification of skills was in like the original Cardboard Essence submission.
Yeah.
And then as we progressed into preparing and developing the game and then preparing for the campaign, the skills became an expansion, a known expansion, and then you start working on some of the festivals, and then as sort of the campaign came to fruition, a lot of the stuff that was sort of there in the back of our heads was sort of on the whiteboard, and like, oh, no, we'll deal with that. Started to come to life. Take the scooter expansion or the arcade expansion. Some of it was, inspired by some of our backers as such. And with this one, what's interesting with this particular series of modules is it has morphed into really trying to express a lot of the Taiwanese experiences that you had. And when you play these various expansions, you feel that it's almost like you sort of. I remember playing. I remember when you were talking about Dragon Boat Festival. That one has a very distinct memory because I remember you and I were essentially racing around the board. I think I came in second, and it gave you that tension that you see when you watch a Dragon Boat Festival or Dragon Boat race of what's happening, or same thing with regards to the modifications with regards to the tourist cards as such, or so it amazes me the level of cultural infusion that these simple cards have done to just further bring out the level of Taiwanese experience you get from the base game with just these 8 little modules that come in the Kickstarter exclusive. So I still shocks me in some cases of what can be done, what we've been able to do with this nice core game, and bring such a unique experience to the gamers.
Yeah, well, I mean, this game is my love letter to Taiwan. It's my love letter to my whole experience there. And so, which each, I had to leave things out of this game. So many people were like, oh my God, why don't you have this food? Why don't you have this food? It's like, I couldn't fit it all in there. So this expansion was my way of fitting as much as the things I love into this game as possible. It's not all of it. It couldn't possibly be all of it. But, this is the extra added way that I can, get that into the game.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. Yeah, this is they're going to have fun with the festival pack. There's no doubt about that. And I can't wait till this game arrives at my doorstep, because I know I purchased this game, and even though I own the company, I still purchased this game because it was definitely worth it. So, yeah, Adam, thank you for the overview of the festivals and whatnot.
You're welcome.